talked about your 2 years, I was just thinking, would the hardest thing be changing the culture of the dressing room? I mean, it's something you can teach being a coach and teach your sessions, but to actually change that culture, is that the hardest thing?
That's been one of the most challenging things, that's for sure. And it takes time, and it takes effort every single day. And then it takes a lot of action, not words, because words mean nothing if then you don't follow them by actions. And now they have a real meaning, and I think everybody tries to follow because we all agreed. It's not my thing. It's we all agreed that this is that what we need to move forward in the direction that we want, and it takes time, and it will take more time because it's something that you have to do every single day.
And how is it? Is it done through rules, or is it done through socializing together and being a group? How exactly can it be done?
First of all, it's analyzing how it's been like, and if they agree with how it's been like. And once it's that, if they are happy with that or they want to change it, and then it's a common thing. So if you don't like what is there, we have to do something about it, and that's all of us. And then you need some rules, and you need certain commitments, individual and collectively, to establish that, and then applies on everybody. And we know what we all expect from each other, and from that day, you just try to improve it day by day.
If I could ask you a couple about Bukayo Saka, just a huge year for him. I mean, if you could think about maybe some examples, have you seen the real maturity of him in this last year? Can you recall any moments like that?
No, what I see is not only him, is young boys with incredible enthusiasm and passion for this club that are really willing to bring success, and they are dealing with a lot of difficult situations in a great way. But that shows as well the education that they had, the background, the environment, the families that they have, and how supportive as well the club has been with them throughout their careers at the club. But it's not normal at that age to be able to do what they've been doing, and we have to be prepared that when they cannot cope with something, that we have to be there straight away to identify that and act straight away.
On Bukayo, do you think you might lose him actually when start of last season when there was the contract talks? Do you think that was a possibility?
Well, I was worried with everything that happened in the summer with him, but when I first met him after the holiday period, I realized that he's gonna cope with it well, because his reaction was incredible, and then the support that he had from everybody in football, I think it was something that gave him a big lift and a lot of reassurance and security, and really pushed him forward to say, okay, this is just a part of the journey.
And just aside from that, if I just asked lastly about January, I mean, now you're in the top four. Is there a chance to really cement that? If you did get it right in January, maybe some one or two really smart signings, because the club did well in the summer with their business.
Well, if you can tweak what you need to tweak in that period, which is not easy, obviously it will be really helpful. And we are working on that to see the necessities that we can have, and if we can find the right solutions to that.
Thanks, Mike. Rob?
Hi.
Mike was talking about culture of the club there, and last night was another fantastic night for young players at the club, and that's really been the story of your season, the young players. I was just thinking, you were at La Masia in Barcelona, and I know that's slightly different in that it's a boarding sort of house, but how important, really that youth culture at Barcelona sustained that team of Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. It gives a club identity. And how important is that, the long-term vision and what you've been able to implement in the 18 months? It's really changed faster than 18 months.
Well, the reason we have spent a lot of effort and energy, and we've been very consistent with our decision, is because we have a huge opportunity with the young talent that we have at the club. But that young talent has to be tough in the right way, and the best way to see is acting. And for me, how much I coach them, a movement, a tactical, a decision making, is less important than the environment that they grow up with. And they need that. And now they have the perfect place to grow. And that's where they are growing, because they have the senior players doing what they have to do. They have the culture that is set. They have people that are really and genuinely willing to help them, and a club that is fully supportive of them, and they are willing to give them opportunities. And this is what they need to raise and fulfill their potential. And I think, for me, this is the reason why they do it, not because of the coaching or anything else.
And what are your memories being 14, 15, leaving home, going to La Masia? I think Pepe Reina was there.
I was living in La Masia. It was a bedroom of 8. And I have Pepe Reina, I have Victor Valdez, I have Andres Iniesta, I have Carles Puyol. They were all in my bedroom. And what I learned was internally they were competition, because we will all have the same aim, to be first team players, and we could not all of us get there. So it was internal competition. But what I learned as well is about within that competition that you really have to understand that you have to look after each other. And that was a big lesson in that period for me.
And those relationships last for life, I guess. I mean, that will be the same for Saka, Smith Rowe, Charlie, these guys.
Some of them, they're still my best friends. And it's because you go through stuff at a really important key moment in your career that stays for life. And those relationships are unbreakable.
And just lastly, for me, I don't know if you're aware, but really, Arsenal haven't done this for a long time. I know you've had a reputation for young players, but with Van Persie, Fabregas, Clichy, it was players who came from abroad. Even with Ramsey, Walcott, Oxlade-Chamberlain, it was players that they're taken from other clubs at 16, 17. These guys are really Arsenal through and through, and that's a real change. Are you aware that it's the first time Arsenal have produced a crop like this for a long time, and what difference would that make even for your successor in like 5 years' time, 10 years' time, if they're all here?
That their purpose to really transform this club and be successful with that club, and the joy that would mean is even more genuine, because they've been raised all the way through our system. And that's, again, credit to all the people that is involved in our academy.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you very much.
Happy Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you all, and all the best to you and your families, guys. Thank you.